the Democrat Party may be doomed. Now, I have no interest in expressing my own political beliefs, nor do I care about favor for a side. What I do have an interest in is that one half of the American political system is intentionally handicapping itself to the point of obscurity and uselessness. Now, what I believe is about to happen in America is if this continues, that America will become more and more right wing. And by 2032, America will be a very hardline right wing nation. And I don't want that to happen. So, after the Democrats became aware that they were losing the election, there were two major sentiments that I heard expressed. The first was that white women didn't show up for the Democrat Party, black men didn't show up for the Democrat Party, and that Hispanics didn't show up for the Democrat Party. And they need to be castigated and insulted. That's not going to win you votes. The way that the Democrat base and talking heads have been taught to deal with things is to threaten and insult the people to get them in line. Now, because in my opinion, they didn't want the same thing that happened to white men to happen to them, where white men with any self respect left the Democrat Party in 2014 to 2020 range. And this is where the first point and the second point kind of fold into each other. The second sentiment I heard expressed more than anything was we need our own Joe Rogan. The weird thing here is some have pointed out is all of these major right wing podcasts, if you go back just a couple years, I shouldn't say all of them, but the majority of them were people that saw themselves as on the left. Joe Rogan, Tim Pool, Sargon, Jordan Peterson, the list goes on. All of these people were pushed out of the Democrat Party, pushed out of the left. We don't want to hear from white men. Sit down, shut up. That's your place. You listen. You're privileged. These kind of views have become institutionalized in America. Like major institutions hold these beliefs that are just insane. And I ran into this myself at Massachusetts Rehabilitational Services. I had one of the counselors there telling me, very upper class black woman from obviously went to nice schools, it had a very privileged life. And she's telling me, I don't know what suffering is. And I need to appreciate the fact that I am privileged and white and will never understand her struggle. Now, mind you, she's a counselor at Massachusetts Rehabilitational Services. And I am there seeking help because I am on disability. It's funny because the day that happened, two guys tried to rob me about a block from the building. So I went in there kind of amped up because these two dudes came up to rob me, and I guess something happened and they had a change of heart. And, you know, I don't know what happened to them, but uh, it was nothing good. And so I'm kind of amped up when I'm going in there. And then I have this lady telling me all this stuff about how privileged I am. And I I was stunned that this was allowed. And when I went to talk to the other counselor, I was like, that lady is crazy, and was saying all kinds of racist nonsense, telling me how privileged I am and that they weren't going to do nothing about it. And I was like, I hit him with the big guns where I was like, I recorded it because I learned to record interactions with the government because so many times they step out of line, they do fucked up shit, and then they say, oh no, we didn't do that, we didn't do that. So interactions with the police, interactions with government officials, Don't matter if it's one party consent or two party consent, record that shit. Because take the charge, keep proof of how they treat you. That's my opinion. But, and once I hit him with that, then some stuff happened. Behind the scenes, didn't get to hear about it, but I never saw that lady at that office again. They probably just moved her somewhere else, but who knows? I didn't have to deal with it, and that's. But anyway, my point is that these views are institutionalized. They are normalized. The Democrat base feverishly believes them. They believe in anti-whiteness, whatever that means. Now, they have taken those views and now they are applying them to black men, they are applying them to white women, and they are applying them to Hispanics. This is, like I said, what are they going to do? Become the Black Lesbian and Samoan Alliance? Like, there's no one that's going to vote for you. You're going to lose every election after this if that is not changed. If this kind of fomented hatred that has been majorly part of the Democrat base now for over a decade, if something isn't done to quell that, then the Democrat Party is basically doomed because this is how every issue is handled. If you do not accept it, we will scream at you until you either fold or say fuck off and walk away. And like all their major opposition right now, which is this podcast network on YouTube, were all people that saw themselves as on the left until they were told we don't want you. So this is what I see happening in America. That America is going to become more and more right wing because the Democrat Party is intentionally handicapping itself. Take it for what it's worth.